stumbled from thirst and exhaustion. When one fell, another lifted her veil so soldiers wouldn't trample it. A final act of dignity in a world stripped of mercy. Their abbess was gone, but her last words endured among them. If you cannot hold the cross, hold each other. After 7 days of walking, the captives reached the port of Volos. Waiting there were Ottoman galleys, ships designed not for comfort, but for control. The women were herded aboard, wrists shackled to wooden benches where criminals and slaves once rode. As the sails caught the wind, the shores of Greece faded into the horizon, and with them, everything they had ever known. The ship's overseer, Yusuf Aga, kept meticulous records: cargo, spices, coins, textiles, and religious captives. It was this very ledger, discovered centuries later in the archives of Istanbul, that confirmed a story once dismissed as legend. The voyage to Constantinople lasted 12 days. Storms lashed the deck, salt stung their wounds, hunger hollowed their faces. Yet what broke them most wasn't pain, it was silence. No one spoke to them except to bark commands. They existed like ghosts, floating between sky and sea. At night, the youngest, Sister Magdalena, whispered psalms beneath her breath. Her voice was faint, barely audible over the crashing waves. But even the chained prisoners around her, Greeks, Serbs and Italians, turned their heads to listen. For a moment, the sea seemed to still. When the ship finally entered the Bosphorus, the sisters saw the skyline of Constantinople rise before them, its domes and minarets glowing like blades in the dawn. Across the strait, the city seemed alive, breathing with power. For centuries, it had been called the city of the world's desire. Now it would become their cage. From the docks, they were paraded through narrow streets lined with merchants, soldiers, and slaves. Locals paused to stare. Christian nuns among captives were a rarity, even in an empire built on conquest. They were led past the ancient walls of Blakenai toward the imperial district where their fates would be sealed. In the shadow of Hagia Sophia, the once great cathedral of Christendom, they were forced to kneel. As the muezzin's calls echoed from the minarets, one of the sisters whispered, "We are home, but it is no longer ours." Before dawn, they were taken into a marble courtyard surrounded by towering columns. This was not a dungeon. It was the Divan Humayun, the imperial council, where the will of the Sultan ruled above all. Here, captives were not judged by kings or priests, but by empire itself. For the nuns of Thessaly, their faith would be measured against the laws of conquest. At the center of the hall sat the Grand Vizier, a man whose expression betrayed nothing. To his left, scribes waited with ink and parchment, ready to record every detail, names, ages, and intended uses. Every word would be entered into registers that still survive